Hey everyone, it is Ryan Grimes here with My IT Indie, and today I've got a super awesome guest, Vince Egan with Level 365, and what we're going to discuss today is modernizing the technology in your business and modernizing your business overall, specifically in the area of telecommunications. We at My IT Indie work with a lot of companies around Indianapolis and the surrounding states and counties, and our big push is to modernize your business. So how do you get from working on a server to working in the cloud? How do you get from being stuck at your desk with your desktop, with your phone, with your server down the hall to working in the cloud, working from home, working from your log cabin in the woods, or working from wherever you have internet access to do the things your business needs to do? So today we're going to discuss phones. So Vince, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what Level 365 does?
Yeah, my name is Vince Egan. I'm the channel partner director here at Level 365. Been here for 2.5 years. Level 365. We'll kind of get into UCaaS in a little bit, but that is what we do. We are based out of Indianapolis, but a nationwide provider in terms of our customer reach. Go from coast to coast. Our team here in-house is in Indianapolis on the city's east side at Fort Benjamin Harrison. Ryan, a little bit about us.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yes, you guys are a fantastic partner for us because it allows us to refer clients that need phone systems and modern communications, and it's not in our wheelhouse. Like, we just don't have the bandwidth to deal with it, nor is it something I want to get into. We have learned very quickly to do what we're good at and to let the professionals do the things we're not. So what is UCaaS? What does the modern communication system look like? We'll do the screen sharing thing now if you want to go into it and demonstrate what it looks like.
Yeah, sure. Let me share my screen.
Yep.
Can you guys see that?
Yep. We can see it perfectly.
Yeah. So, Ryan, you talked a little bit about it, but that work from anywhere feature. So this is the folks in my directory that I can call on. This is the soft phone application that lives on my desktop, that I'm literally going to this website and through Level 365, and I can make outbound calls. Here. Making an outbound call, you can hear that as well. Mm-hmm. But and then the chat and text message feature, call park, which I think a lot of people that are coming off of a premise-based phone system that lives in an IT closet, that's a feature that they still would like. And it allows put on hold, move that incoming call to anyone in your company, and then we get into and this is the end user, my view, my answering rules, greetings that I have set up for my voicemail. I can get into my saved voicemails that way, get into my call history, and then back to contacts. And what this allows is for your workforce to take and receive calls from anywhere. So no longer, we talk again about that IT closet, that goes away. That big component, that the prem-based system, where you're hardwired in everywhere into your office space, becomes non-existent. We still have, I would say, about half of our overall user count has a hard desk phone, but that number continues to shrink as more people like the soft phone. And then our mobile application, which is just on an Android or an iPhone, our mobile app, which again allows the end user to work from anywhere, to answer calls from anywhere, to text message from anywhere. And as that hybrid workforce gets bigger and bigger, and especially with the younger generation that is moving in now. That is very attractive to the younger generation. This allows both management and your workforce to have that hybrid approach. If you're in the office, you can make calls. If you're on the beach, you can make calls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
is there anything that you want to see that I haven't shown from our soft phone?
Yeah, absolutely. So with the soft phone, you've got both internal chat, so you can communicate with teammates. But talk about what SMS looks like for a soft phone. Like, give us a couple of examples where that's really come in handy for businesses, because a lot of young kids live on their cell phones. Like, texting is a legitimate way of communicating with that generation of people. So what does this give businesses regarding that functionality?
Yeah, so I was actually visiting with one of our clients this morning, and they have 3 newer employees that are all on the sales side, that are all doing outbound calls, but it allows them, besides that outbound call, to have an additional touch point to those folks that you want to send an SMS text message to. And I'm getting into the weeds here, very specific on a sales team, but it's a way to connect that you're not leaving a voice message. You're legitimizing that you're an actual human being that works here in this example in Indianapolis, and you work for XYZ company, and maybe that phone call, that sales call that wasn't picked up, when the text message comes across, it ends up leading to a sale. And in this team's case, 3 individuals who all their feedback to me this morning was, and they're all 23 to 25 years old. Are the majority of your outbound sales coming from, and it's coming from making a connection and then using SMS texting to further along that conversation.
Yeah, that's fantastic. We've actually rolled it out at a client it's a nonprofit that deals with people that are not experiencing the best part of their lives right now, and instant, immediate communication is important. And sometimes your team can't always take a call, right? Because it's 8:00 at night. You've got you're dealing with family stuff as an employee of the business, but a text message is super easy to respond back to, or to receive and say, okay, I got to deal with this in the morning, or we need to do something. Whereas a phone call is, these days it's considered intrusive, right?
Right. And with the SMS texting, you are using your work number. So you're eliminating that intrusiveness into your personal life. You could set up those answering rules that you're not receiving phone calls after 5 o'clock, but you're still receiving text messages. Mm-hmm. So if you have that important coffee with client A at 8 a.m. the next morning, and you just want to send a heads up reminder via text, hey, are we still meeting at 8 for coffee, and not being as intrusive? Because I really don't think, really any generation anymore feels like a text message after hours is intrusive. It's much more intrusive to call after hours.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I mean, it's funny how that much has shifted, right? Because back when we were kids, like, oh, the phone rang, someone wants to talk to us. Like, it'd be something exciting. Now it's like, oh God, what's going on? Well, you actually brought up a good point. We've seen a lot of prospects come to us, or even employees that, or even existing clients, that sometimes their employees use their personally owned cell phone for texting and receiving calls from their contacts at their clients. And one of the, accountability is not there, and the audit trail is not there. So talk to us about why businesses want to use something like this with a soft phone versus letting people use their personally owned cell phones.
Yeah, I think there's several things, and you hit on a couple of them. The first one is ownership of that number. So when person A comes in and they work for you for 9 months and they leave after 9 months and you replace them, you still have that number that they have made outbound calls, inbound calls, and that number is owned by the company. So then when they are replaced, and the very high level, you're putting somebody in there to replace them, and they're keeping all their contacts, they're keeping all their history in there, so they can go back and see the previous messages, previous outbound calls that have been made. And then, like you talked about, Ryan, a little bit, the accountability piece. It allows for managers, owners of companies to keep their employees accountable by seeing the level of activity that their employees are doing. Also, that audit trail of text messages and phone calls. And then with our integrations, whether it's into HubSpot or Salesforce, we can integrate into a CRM to allow that to go even further and really break into those call analytics.
Let's go there. So if I'm, we're talking about outbound and inbound calls because, sales makes the world go around, right? So we need to know exactly what's happening. I'm a company that has an antiquated phone system that we can't see that data because it's a piece of junk thing sitting in the server closet that, maybe you have caller ID, maybe you don't. But what can migrating to something like this give me in terms of that data? You talk about integrations. Let's go there, because that's where modernization really, simple little things can just make a huge difference in your company. So what does an integration get you in terms of, sales, inbound and outbound?
Well, yeah, start off with, you brought it up, and while it's fresh on my mind, that customer support piece. So you are having inbound calls come into you, to your customer support line, and we could break down into the length of those calls. And is your team being effective in that amount of time? And look at, dive into those analytics in terms of length of the call. If there's an issue with any of those customer service people not getting things answered, going back and listening to those calls, and coaching that comes part of it. You were on a call for 5 minutes, and you should have only been on for 1 minute before escalating the call. Let's coach you up and why that's important. Go back and listen to that for those customer service people to improve them. And then, like you said, the outbound calls, if you have a sales team and tracking those, and then looking at the length of those calls. Are you having actual conversations? Are you talking to the people that you should be talking to? And then, even, I got to my 100 calls today. Well, we're looking at that. Yeah, you did, but the average length of the call was 5 seconds. So were you even waiting for it to, dial all the way through, kind of thing? So very much back to that accountability piece on all sides.
Yeah, that's awesome. That really helps businesses understand what's going on, which is, part of modernization. It gives them better tools to understand where they're going and what's happening, and if you're not getting the job done, or if you're killing it, like you can't, the data doesn't lie. So let's get more data.
More data is always a good thing.
Yes.
And I think that has been, from our customers, their biggest ask as we've grown over the past, really COVID and then post-COVID, is more analytics are better, but then highlighting, showing those key metrics, so that you're not diving through hours and hours of data to try to find them. Mm-hmm. But we help point out where those key metrics are, and how you can improve your workforce with those.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of integrations, One of my favorite integrations you guys have is into Microsoft Teams. Um, it's an extra little service that you offer, but we are in Teams all day long. Like our clients are in Teams, we're in Teams. We actually communicate with our clients in Teams. It has changed how we work because I can have one app. Actually, the funny thing is I got a phone call a little bit ago, and with the integration, Teams knew, hey, he's in a meeting. We're not going to really make a sound, but I can see on the side of my screen, it's flashing that I have a call coming in, but it didn't interrupt me because I'm busy doing other things. We're sitting here having this conversation. It was in my calendar. So Teams knew that it was in my calendar. It did not interrupt me. And it just rang silently in the background. And I can see I've got a voicemail attached to an email afterwards. So can you go into a little bit about how your Teams integration works?
I think just that for the end user, are they going to know that level 365 is even there? Maybe, maybe not, because we become kind of, in a medical term, the backbone, the spinal cord of Teams dialing, and found that is a weakness that they are never going to address, that we can enhance the end user's experience in Teams dialing. And when, like you said, Ryan, when you're looking into Teams, on that menu on the left-hand side, the level 365 icon appears. It goes into our soft phone. And really for the end user, they might not ever know they're using it, but they might not ever notice that they're using the level 365 soft phone to do their dialing unless they're paying attention. But it becomes, on the opposite side for that admin level, our integration solves some issues that Teams might have, and maybe flip the script a little bit about onto you now and ask you a question. But how has the Teams integration helped you and your workforce improve?
Well, the great thing is that we're in Teams all day long anyways. It's natively built in. Like I said before, the integrations are fantastic. We've actually had clients on Teams phone from Microsoft that we've brought over to you because the experience with Microsoft phones is not always fantastic. And what happens is that the burden of support falls on the IT guys versus the phone guys. And I don't want to support phones. If your extension disappears in Microsoft, like I don't know why it happened. But I tell you what, your support is amazing. And we could just say, you know what? Call level 365 because when you need to add a new user, like we've had so few issues that it's not even a thing. Like the only times I've ever emailed support are when we've asked about integrations with things or how to better do something, not because something doesn't work. And that's been a huge thing. We've had clients on Microsoft phones, and sometimes some extensions disappear. Sometimes call routing doesn't happen. Sometimes the out of office calendar doesn't work right. I mean, like we fixed it. It goes back to something else. Like it's just not a consistent experience in our findings. So you guys have been rock solid. Like, we are partners with you. So, we understand how you guys operate, and we just say, you know what, call Jenny. That's our thing.
No, and to kind of, personally for me, I in the industry for a long time. When I came on board 2.5 years ago, from where I was previously working, it got installed, and once it got installed, wasn't supported, and then that falls on you as a salesperson, and it wasn't supported. And then when support gets pushed overseas, and you're waiting on hold for a very minute issue that really could take less than 5 minutes to solve, and then that end user's getting more and more upset, and then the admin's getting upset. And so one of the things that I love about Level 365 that I constantly preach about is our support. Our support is all here in the Midwest. The vast majority here in Indianapolis at Fort Harrison, and you get to know those folks, whether it's Anthony, Jorge, Amanda, any of them, that talking to clients, you literally dial 611 from the soft phone, from the desk phone, and you're talking to a live human being in Indiana within 8 seconds or less.
Mhm.
And if you have somebody that might be a little less inclined to pick up the phone, we have a live chat as well. And that live chat, you want to multitask and continue doing what you're doing, but also talk to one of our support folks and get the issue solved that way. Again, it comes in handy. And as we see more of our competitors on the larger scale pushing support overseas, it's something that I love to tell about. Our story is our support is all Indiana based at Fort Harrison.
Yeah, that is true. Every support experience we've had has been fantastic, and our clients say the same thing. They first off, they don't really have to call you all that much. Usually, it's to add a user or remove a user, but it's been fantastic for all of our users. So thank you very much.
and like I think the time that our phones ring the most are a holiday. Hey, how do I make sure that my calls are going to the right place on Christmas, Thanksgiving, MLK Day, whatever it is, that they're still being answered and letting your customers know that you're still there.
Yep. Exactly. All right, Vince. So I'm a business owner. I've seen this amazing video on LinkedIn. I want to know, how do I get a hold of you or somebody at Level 365 to talk more about what a new phone system for my business would look like?
Yeah, multiple ways. First off, we would love you to go through Ryan to start off with, but you can always call me as well and make sure that you say, hey, I saw that you and Ryan were doing a broadcast and on live, or watch the recording. But you find me, 317-810-2750 is my direct number. You can text me on that. You can call me on that. LinkedIn, anyway, or go through Ryan would be the ideal way. But we happy to help, happy to start those conversations. If you have questions, if you want to see a demo, and that's the biggest telltale sign. If you are wanting to, getting that itch, you know that your phone system is dying, or you don't like what you have right now, just jumping on a demo with Ryan and I, and walking through both what the admin level sees, and then, like what we just showed you, what the end user sees.
Absolutely. And if you want to get a hold of me, my email is ryan@myitindy.com, or you can visit our website at myitindy.com and fill out the initial conversation form. And we'd be happy to talk to you about what a phone system looks like. And I fully expect, now that I've given out my email address, every single one of your competitors is going to email me. I just know it's going to happen right after this.
No.
It always happens. Like, oh, we could totally do this better. No, just shut up.
Forward them to me. I'll answer them for you.
Oh my God. Yes. Well, thank you very much for your time today, Vince. I look forward to grabbing lunch with you again. And anyone, if you have any questions, again, my email is ryan@myitindy.com. And Vince, what's your email address?
My email is VEAGAN, so vegan. I'm not a vegan, but that's my email address at level365.com. Also level365.com to find out more information about us.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your time today, and enjoy our early spring.
No, more snow. Come on.
All right, sir. Have a great day.
You too.
All right, bye.